And I am live. Yep, stable kbps and stable fps. And yep, YouTube also knows that I am live. YouTube says that I have an excellent connection, which is amazing, and I can just begin in my this Tmux session and start Tmux attach target react, and here we are. I have the source and the style.css, and yesterday we made the bare minimum for a terminal for which we can call a tic-tac-toe localhost 3000, and today I want to take it to come. Wait, what the heck? Yeah, it is. Shit, something messed up. Wait, refresh. Right, right. X is the winner. Yeah, so it is working fine. Today I want to move forward and do the extra things which were there at the end. Right, making an interactive component. Yep, all of that is done. And then too many re-renders, React limits. All right, all of that is done. Okay, next player is something declaring a winner. That was done. Calculate winner, and if the square is here. Okay, yeah, that is all I can have. Next player is this, or next player is that. Okay, and then add time travel. Okay, let me first do the next player thing. Right here I have my board. I am returning my board. Right above this I will have who the next player is, and yes, let's see, um a div. That was pretty cool. I wrote div inside, and div got into this shit. What is the which LSP is running? Let me guess. It is it TSLSP? TypeScript LS? Yes, it is TSLS. And this is fucking beautiful. The thing that I just saw here, that was beautiful in its own way, that is. Now, here I would like to have, yep, I would like to conditionally render what gets inside. For, yeah, winner, if winner, okay, I can take a variable and change its state here if winner and else. Okay, that makes sense. And yep, let's say let heading equals something like, can I do this? Yes, I can do this. Heading equals this, and heading is declared, but its value is never read. Right? Heading will come here, right, like that, and inside heading, wait a minute, nothing. Inside heading is, yeah, empty. Initially heading is empty, but depending on this condition I will do, if this is else, that is there is no winner, then I will do heading equals div, and the next player is, who is the next player? Next player is uh, user state, finished chance. Yes, chance. um Chance question mark x, either x or 0. Oh, that is 4. Not change, but chance. Yep. If chance is true, then x, and if chance is false, then y. The next player is y. But if we do have a winner, then instead of this alert, we will have set finished equal to true, first of all. And wait, set finished. Where am I using finished? Right there, and handle click. Okay, handle click is only happening if I have a winner. Yeah, makes sense. Now set finished is true, and the second thing is heading equals div. Right? Yeah, winner is, who is the winner? Winner is winner. That makes sense. Does that make sense? I think that does make sense. And let's go ahead, refresh, and I do not have the heading because initially heading is nothing initially. Let me make this equal to next player is um chance. Yep. Wait, not chance. Chance is not a player. If chance is true, then next player is equal to x. Otherwise, it is equal to O. Next player is x. Let's see. Now it's O. Now it's x. Now it's O. And should have had a winner. I should have had a winner. I did had a winner, but yes, because of this, things got messed up. Right. And so I should not have this thing here. So where should I have that? Wait, I and since I do have access to winner here, so I can do this like right fucking here. Right, makes sense. A div and inside winner. If I do have a winner, wait, not winner, but finished. If finished, then I like to say winner this and plus and winner is over stuff. Put in the stuff and say is over if we do have a winner. Otherwise, if we do not have a winner, then next player is, let's say, plus what? Eight people are calling me, but that is fine. Chance question mark, and if chance is true, then next player is X. Otherwise, next player is O. Right, that should handle things. I think that should handle things. Let's see. Okay, that is not cool. I'm seeing X there, only X there due to some reason. Why finished and not finished? Hmm. Hmm. Div finished. If it is finished, then we do have a winner, right? Otherwise, okay, this would not know what thing goes to what thing, right? Yeah. This is one thing, and then this whole is one thing. I think this is cool. Nope, this is not cool. Plus charm. I think this is cool. Yep, this is cool. Next player this, next player this, that. We do have a winner, and no one can play anymore. Right. And after that, add time travel. That is one of the things that I am going to add now. And yep, adding time travel as a final exercise. Let's make it possible to go back in time to the previous moves in the game, storing of storing a history of moves. If you mutated the squares array, implementing time travel would be very difficult. However, you used slice to create a new copy of the squares array after every move and treated it as immutable. This will allow you to store every past version of the squares array and navigate between turns that have already happened. Okay, you will store the past squares array in another thing called history, another array called history, which you will store in a new state variable. The history array represents all board states from the first to the last move and has a shape like this, right? Lifting its state up again, you will now write a new top level component called game to display a list of moves. That's where you will place the history state that contains the entire game history. Placing the history state into the game component will let you remove the squares state from its child board component, just like you lifted state up from square component into the board component, you will now lift it up from the board into the top level game component. Okay, this gives you, so my game will have the board and the history on the right, board on the left. Makes sense. This gives game component full control over the body's data and lets it instruct the board to render previous turns from the history. Okay. Yes, makes sense. First, add a game component with export default. Have it render the board component and some markup with export default. Okay, one side I will have the board, and on the other side I will have game info and all those things. Okay, let's do that. And shit, that that is some horrible watching. And I think if since no one is watching, I can put this to as I like it, right? Like this. I like it even smaller. Yeah, this one is fine. Expo export default function game, and I will call it full game where G is smaller, and this will return inside these empty placeholder braces. I'll have a div on the left which will contain the my board things, and on the right I will have another div which will contain h1 and says history, and the second thing will be uh, list. Li is list item and L is list itself, right? Next pair X and all that jazz, right? But I now have saved it, and history, we have history there, and let's call this class name game. And in here let me create dot game display flex, right? And that is a bit messed up. Flex should have applied, wait, why do I have like applied to everything? It should have only applied to, okay, my bad. Yep, yep. Go there. Yep. Now we are cool. Mm, yep. Now we should be cool. If I do something like this, I guess we should, yeah, we are cool. And now these two divs are on different side, which is cool. And what else do I need? Yep, I will apply the CSS later. Now I need to have a history variable in here in this thing, and for that I first have to move the state up. Is finished and all those things will be given to this function by whatever the above function is. Stuff equals wait 11. Copy all those things and go there, and in here, nope, in here do this stuff and John and finished. And what else? I am needing all of these things, even the setter functions. Yep. Set stuff, set John, set finished. Wait, instead of hand putting all of this here, the setter functions, I can with handle click. I am sending down again. Copy this and put all of this here and give handle click down here. Right, and give handle click down here. Handle click and 26. Nope. 14. Stuff equals stuff, and what else? Chance equals chance, and finished equals finished, and handle click equals handle click. The state has moved up, and let's see, is it still the same thing? It is still the same thing. Hi, I have doubt. Can you explain from scratch? Explain this whole thing, this thing from scratch. I'm trying to make this thing, this tic-tac-toe, whose tutorial is here on React's official website, and that is what I'm trying to do. You can see it here if you are still there watching this video. Now, after this, yep, I have moved the state up. Now I need to pass in some things to my history variable, and let me make it const history equals, and here look like this format, my board, my stuff equals this, and at the end this is much beautiful, and 7 delete. And I will be right back in a minute. I'll be right back. I gotta fix something. We are cool and good to go. After this, yes, there are some things I would like history to return like this. Wait a minute, but before that, someone is on the door. Yep, I'm back. Yeah, there was someone on the door, and now we are good to go. Yep, now we are truly good to go. Now, yes, now that in this, I need to populate this history thing and list. I think this is the format. Like, I think this is the thing. And then inside this, I'm supposed to have list items. Let's say hello, and this show up there. Nope, this does not because I'm not. Um, I have to put history here, and does it show? Yep, that is the right format. I need to populate this thing with a history variable that will be passed down to this history. And what will that have? History. Right. Let me first initialize the history variable. History state here set history equals straight. First of all, it is empty, and then after handle click, after every click, we'll have set stuff. Yep. History dot. No, not history dot push. But what we need to have is let new history equals history dot slice, and then new. Do I need to have history as a state variable? Yes, I do need to have history as a state variable. New history dot push. What changed its stuff? Push it to new history, and then set history equal to new history. Right, and this variable here will be taking in history, and this one does my stuff has. Stuff is this stuff 0 1 2 3 4 5, whatever is the state of that thing, either it is x or it is equal to 0. That is the only thing, right? I guess. Yep, that is the only thing. And how do I want this to go? Map, not map dot history dot map hist, and I want this to return a list item, and that list item, it will say, first of all, no, this is not what I want. I also want a variable to go with all of this. um can I run a for loop? Nope, I don't think I can run a for loop inside. Right, so wait, map can have history, and you can also have the index of the thing that I'm traversing through. Shit, this is map is anything, so dot map, which is the thing. What are the arguments? First value, then index, and then the whole thing. Right, cool. Value, then I, the index, and that is, we work with that. First I, the thing, the number, and then plus this string, and then first this, uh, what, x's chance, zero's chance, yeah. First this, and then played by, right, plus if I, I remainder 2 equals 0. If that is the case, then it is x's chance, otherwise it is y's chance, and history is not used in this whole thing. And yes, and apart from history I need to have another variable, const time, set time, which will tell me which part of history I am at. State initially 0, and after every move, after yes, and initially the thing here is stuff, right, and time, which is initially 0, and after every move set chance, I'll do set time, time plus 1, and inside to this I will send history bracket time. Does that make sense? And I will give access to the set time function to this thing, and set time, set time, and this, yes, with this has to be a list item, and but also I want this to be a button inside a list item. That is cool. And this button has an on click property. I think this itself can have an on. Yep, I don't need the button. Yep, on click, and this, what this will do is there's going to be a wrapper function which calls set time for I. I think we are pretty cool here, right? And an original, right? Okay, that is cool. I can move the is winner state up the board, and yeah, I can move the is winner state up the board. Winner, who is the winner actually? Yeah, finished. Okay, I do not want this to be finished. I only want this to be finished when it is finished. Wait, so yeah, why am I checking is over here? Why am I checking is finished here? Right, Finished is over stuff. Let me send instead of finished winner here. If winner, then here instead of this, let me do this. And what would this need to do is I have already changed history stuff chance. Yep, I have to change is finished to winner, and winner, let winner is this, winner this, and finished. Yes, I do need finished. Wait, instead of finished I can have winner. Yep, and say winner set winner, not false but null, set winner equal to null, and here set is finished. Nope, there's nothing as is finished. There is set set winner to winner. uh Again, not this is over changed stuff, and winner, yes, I am going to be using winner here. Winner equals, I think that should work. Next pair is x, we have next pair as x, but one more thing, one more thing, one more thing, one more thing. Yo, Gemini Ray. One more thing. I have history. I have history on the right, board on the left, and then full game on the full board, on the full thing. Yes, winner seems fine. Let me check. Wow, if this is actually too big. Finished is not defined. I'm using finished here. Okay, yes. Winner, that should work. Now, what the fuck is it this small? We have a winner. We have a clear winner. Winner is still X. It is not being changed, right? And I cannot play from any part. And let me also add another button, which will clear stuff out, right? Make things better. And that will be the first item in the list. List item, it is called, and restart. It says, and on click it, what does it do? It calls the restart function. Restart function will be given to it from its pairing. And what is the restart function, you might ask? Const restart does not take anything, it just does stuff. It has to clear the history first of all. Set history empty and stuff, no, set stuff empty, set stuff initially. What is the initial state of stuff? Oh, new array fill it with null. A new array that is filled with null. I think I can give the size here 9. 9. And what else? Time, set time 0, and then pass it on. Restart. Now it should be good. Play something, play something. Click on restart. Okay. Cannot read properties of undefined is 0. My board. My board is reading something called 0. What is 0? Set time, history. History is equal to the initial state of stuff. Makes sense. Right. Okay, that it does make sense. So new let new stuff equals new array of 9 elements and fill that with null, and after that set history equal to an array which has as its first element new stuff, and then put new stuff equal to new stuff, and then we should be good to go. Play a little bit, restart. We are good to go. That is cool. And now I would also like to change the CSS a bit. First of all, is this games CSS. This games CSS width is 100%, and let's see, does that do anything? That it does not. Okay, I do have a flex box. Let me do. Should I do not have an LSP for CSS? Shit. CSS LSP and Vim, or what the heck? Why is this white? Uh, github.com/new Vim LSP config. Yes. Go blue such. CSS or best and Vim CSS LSP. CSS HTML LSP discussions. Is there new set of others? Is there an LSP to start LSP services for CSS 3 years ago? CSS.lua. That is one option, but is that the only option? CSS variables, CSS ls. That seems good. CSS ls. VS Code extracted language servers. It is used in VS Code. That is cool. CSS ls seems pretty. It is shit. Harsh. That is pretty good. Harshit. NVMG. One install G. VS language servers extracted. NewM does not currently include built-in snippets. VS Code CSS language server only provides completions when a snippet support is enabled. To enable completion, install a snippet plugin and add the following override to your language client. Enable broadcasting. Shit. No, this does not seem that the thing that I'm looking for. Best NVMe CSS LSP. What is like the main string thing? If CSS in NewM. Yes, that is what I want. Yes. I think what you need is the CSS language server. Lang server, you can install it manually with LSP config or Mason. Yes, I want to install it manually. Mason. Now, CSS language server is this one, blob master config. I also recommend CSS modules to go directly to CSS classes from your HTML. I will have the link to my configuration in case you need. Okay. He is saying to also use CSS modules. Let's see. Uh, where is here are all the things. CSS modules. Yep, CSS modules. This is the thing. This and then this thing. Okay, it is the same thing. Okay. Uh, okay, let me first of all install this thing and exit tmux. One install globally what VS Code language servers extracted code language servers. I think there was no space. Language servers extracted. Yep. Not language, lang. VS Code lang servers extracted. Yep. After that, what do I have to do? The whole thing. Enable capabilities. Enable this snippet. Okay. Enable broadcasting. Let capabilities equals to make client capabilities. Capabilities dot this equals to true and CSS capabilities equals to capabilities. This I can do. Yeah. And broadcasting is snippet for completion. Mm, LSP CSS ls CSS dot loop paste, but not paste exactly. We here I am returning these things. Okay. Go into plugins and LSP config right and 25 LSP config dot cs dot vim lsp dot config, which is lsp config. Yes, lsp config. CSLS, is that the way? SLS dot setup, which will be require lsp dot CSLS dot lua and go there into lua, back into lsps, and yep, I lost it. CSSLS lua third bn bn, yes, and return this. Right, this does not make sense here. Wait, what am I normally returning from these things? On it, which is one thing, and then setting. Enable this VS Code, and I have CSS modules. CSS modules enable. It's a bit to enable the language server. Vim.lsp.enable. Wait, why don't I have a syntax like this? Then that I have here. One here. Right, this one. Vim dot it will okay. Let's be climbing the CSS modules setup. Right. DI bracket. That was pretty cool. Let's be wait, let me I have to give in side empty config CSS modules dot setup. That should do the thing for CSS modules, and I have to download the CSS modules underscore ls CSS modules underscore ls, and CSS ls was the last one. CSS ls was the last one, and CSS modules underscore ls. And we have installed CSS modules language server. Okay. I can just delete this thing. Yep, delete that. Quit. Uh, quit force. One installed globally. PSS modules is with filling. Yep, module language server. Now I should get snippets. Hi, your image is blur. Shit, my image is actually blur. And so that does happen with my phone sometimes because right now I'm using my phone. Shit. Right now I'm using my phone for my webcam as my webcam, but this should wait. Let me fix it. I try to fix it. Uh, yep, it will be just a minute. Shit. You. This should fix it. Shit. Shit. Uh, my video is blur and it is not fixing itself. Uh, it should be working, but it is not working. Let me try to make it work, and then we will see what happens. Yeah, now it is working. Yep, that is cool. Yep, that is cool. It is working now, and we are fine. Yep, yep, just like that. A bit to the right. Yep, good to go. Bit like this, and yep, we are good to go. Using Vim is so dope for a beginner like you. Vim is dope. Yes. Uh, After this, let's use teamer attach target react. Now let me exit Vim and enter Vim. Lazy, update everything, go back. So do I have enough? I have all the things I need in Harpoon. Now, do I get? I do not have LSP running. I only have TSLS running here on this file, even though it says CSS. Uh, Command is this default config JavaScript package root marker package dot JSON. This is not working. CSS git root marker. I do not have git. I do have package dot JSON. Command VS Code CSS language server. Can I does that thing work? Not right now. VS Code CSS language server. Shit, that does not work. Vim LSP enable this thing. So okay, I managed to get it working using your config directly. Let's see his config. How is he making it run? Okay, right. He has LSP Lua. here dependencies. Okay, that's cool. He's using Mason. I will not be using Mason. Uh, Python ensure install all of these things. CSSLS. Okay, okay, CSSLS. And then how is he making them run CSSLS? Ah, plug in, go there. Ensure install. Don't I have ensure installed somewhere? Nope, I am installing them myself. So yeah, I'm not using Mason. That is the thing, right? Yeah, dependency is Mason, and then he is using Mason to do all of these things, right? I will not be using Mason. Good people do not use Mason. CSS. Mm-hmm. 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 He writes code in Dart. That is cool. I've only heard about Dart. Mm, shit. I have the language server installed. CSS modules, and here CSS ls tsconfig CSS ls, right? And it is not taking in anything. Just set it up. Mhm, 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 mhm. ts ls and tsls 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 svelte tsls, the main thing. Download this thing globally like that, and then to config like that, do stuff like that, and inside I have DSLS. And after requiring, is this the thing that I am returning? Yep, TSLS. This should work. This should work. This should work. I have saved this thing. Change detected. Yes, reload. And quit this thing. Go here. Go here. Yep. I think that should be good. And how do I clean a window? No, no. Uh, how do I remove a window? I forgot. Shit. Shit. How to delete a window in Tmax. How do I close a window? Terminate a window, more like in Tmax. Control V and okay. And yep, kill the window. Save, enter here. Oh yeah, I will enter this thing on my own then. Justify icon. I'll see how this works later. Enter. That should do something. That does do something. And now I'd like to increase the size and make the CSS a bit better so that it is watchable, lookable. Right, board after both. First of all, I want to increase the size of the whole thing. Width is now 100% and height is going to be 50% of whatever the thing is. And right, and whatever is inside, let me do space between, no, gap is gap I think. CSS gap property gap in flexbox. Yes. Gap. Okay. Gap. Just gap. Gap is going to be like 20 pixels. How does that look? That does look fine, better than it was. Let me join them so that I can see this in real time. Yep, here board row. No, I think how to make elements and flex box cover full height. We can use the display flex property to create a flexbox child. Use the 100% height property. How to make flexbox children 100 take 100% of the height container child height 100%. Yeah. Okay. I have to go to the child and give it the property to take up 100% and child are board row height 100%. Does that help? That does help in some way. And that is one thing. And what is the other thing? History. Wait, I gave that property to where is the board row? Shit, I don't need to give that to board row. That is horrible. Not board row, but this high level thing, whatever it is. Just give um last name left and here last name right and left will have height 100% and right will have the same thing. That does not show any change there, but we increase the font size in the whole thing. Font size, I don't know, 50 pixels. That is big enough, more than big enough. 20 pixels, how that? That I think is what it originally was. That is cool. That is cool. That is cool. And inside my board, I want these things, this thing, and then these things to be, yep, first of all, this thing has to be inside a div. Hang on, like, yep, like that. And yep, this thing has to be inside a div. This thing is inside a div. And let me change this also to be inside a div. Yep, it changed automatically downstairs. Yep. Um, it's just left. Yeah, this should be the left thing. Last name left. Save that and remove left and right from there. And in history, make this div with a class name right. And here, this is a div, or it was supposed to be. Shit, what happened? This is not closing. It says div and class name right. Now we are cool, good to go. And now in the CSS part, on left display flex. Let's see. Yes, that is cool. And flex. Okay, I am getting snippets. Flex direction column, not columns, column and Flex direction is column and I want to align them. Yes, align items. Align. Text align. Text align is going to be like center. Okay. Or is it align items? Align items, right? And justify content, or maybe a bit of gap would be fine. 10 pixels. Yes, that is cool. And the same thing on the right side. Yep, that is cool. And then I want to increase the size of those little boxes. And if they do not have any class, small box, where is small box defined? It's defined here. It has a class name of square. Square. Square and yep, height and width are fixed, which is horrible, right? Height is going to be 50 pixels and width is going to be 50 pixels. That is much better. And let's make it 60, right? And that is good enough. That is actually good enough. I think I have this history thing also, and I can restart. And yeah, winner is this, winner is that, then restart. Yes, that is one thing that I have to fix. There is a bug. Restart. Yes, change winner. Set winner null. Here, refresh. After winning, if I restart, next player is shit. Next player is 0, which it should not be. So next, uh, set chance equal to true. And here, restart. X is about to lose. Restart. Next player is that. That is cool. I think that is done. That is good enough. And that would be the end of today's stream. I implemented the history thing, which was in the document, and from tomorrow on, I will move forward and I will lay down the plans to create a web app, and it is going to be fucking hard. And this is why, and that is the reason that I'm streaming, so that I do not give up while I am on that endeavor of mine. Endeavor, yeah. Yep, that is the